you always wanted Anthony for this role, didn't you? I mean, that was the dream, wasn't it?
Yes, it was the dream. Yes, I wrote the script and I dreamt about that film with Anthony in mind because to me he's the greatest living actor, and I had that conviction that for that specific part, he would be emotionally very powerful. So it was
Yeah,
a dream.
yeah, absolutely. And a dream that you maybe weren't sure would happen. You must have been so delighted because the cast is really first class, isn't it?
Yes, I feel very grateful and very lucky. But the truth is that when Anthony was involved, it was very easy to cast the rest of the part because everyone wanted to be part of this journey with Tony.
No, of course. And Anthony, you must get offered so many roles in such high demand. What was it about this in particular that you just thought, yeah, I must do this?
Oh, it was the perfect script, and you get them once in a, I don't mean once in a lifetime, but they come along. Remains of the Day was one of them. Silence of the Lambs was the quality about them. They're so simple and straight and clear, and there's not too much description in it. It's just a plain roadmap, really, which makes it very easy to play. And so there was no sweat, no big deal. And when I read it, it came out of the blue, and I phoned my agent. I said, "Yeah, I'd love to do this." And so he said, "Well, we'll meet with Florian." And we met a few days later. Florian flew over to California with Christopher Hampton, and it was very informal. We had breakfast, and I said, I couldn't believe my luck. I said, I want to do it very much. And my agent joined us for breakfast and said, "Well, you've got the two popes to do next year."
Oh,
yeah. And I said, "Well, that's wonderful." I said to Florian, "Oh, will you wait?" And he said, "Yes." I said, "You sure?" And I'm a bit, no, I wasn't, it's a small independent film. And I thought, well, I hope they do, but I doubt it because, it's a big industry and it's a business. But thank goodness, and I check it with my agent every few months. I said, "Is it still on?" He said, "Yeah." And then,
oh, that's lovely. That's really, really good. And Florian, you even named the character as Anthony, so you knew that it was meant to be, wasn't it?
Yes, I was very surprised by that. So I was very pleased, and it was an easy film to do. It was because of Florian's direction, and then this incredible cast. When you're working with such superb actors, it's really, as they say over here in America, it's a walk in the park. It really is. There's no strain, no big effort, and I followed the directions, and the play was so clear to me, the screenplay. So that was it. Just learn my lines and show up. I may sound a bit oversimple, but I've been doing it a long time now, so I know a few of the shortcuts. I always try to make it easy for myself to not push it, and I didn't need to with this.
No, and it's really interesting you mentioned Silence of the Lambs in this film because, of course, you won the Oscar for both. But this time, of course, because of the times we live in, you couldn't actually be there. You were asleep, I believe, when you were announced as the winner.
Yes, I was. Well, what happened very briefly, I wasn't being cynical. I didn't expect to get it at all. And, the main contender was Chadwick Boseman. And so I didn't... but there was a stipulation in the Academy. They said that the nominees would have to be in a city like London or Ireland or somewhere, or Los Angeles. But I was on vacation in Wales, and I knew it wasn't going to be possible. And I'm getting a bit too old to travel around, especially with this COVID. I didn't want to go up to London in the middle of a holiday. So I went to bed. And the buzzer on my phone went, and there's a text from my agent, she got the Oscar. It was about 5 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't believe it. And so I really couldn't believe it. I didn't expect it. The next morning, I made a little speech of thanks to the Academy and a tribute to Chadwick Boseman. But I really didn't expect it. It was it was a shock. Really.
Great though, and I loved that speech that you did. It really was lovely. I mean, we ran it in the show in the morning. Everybody was running all the scenes. It was just fantastic. And Florian, for you, for Sir Anthony to win the Oscar, that was the icing on the cake, I would imagine.
Yes, it was such a great joy, and to be able to share that joy, because as I said, the screenplay was written for Anthony, so to be able to share that joy with Anthony was something very meaningful. Because I felt something special throughout the film during the shooting, as if something very special was happening with Anthony, and I'm so happy that the industry saw the same thing and felt the same.
No, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. And I loved that speech. It was just terrific. You've been, during this pandemic, Sir Anthony, you have been entertaining us, not just with films, but also with talk, also with playing your piano and painting and doing all of these incredible things that you've been up to.
It keeps me out of trouble, keeps me off the streets. And I'm pretty active. My, being an actor, I'm very fortunate because I keep my brain occupied, and I love painting. I love music and piano, and I love composition and all that, because life's so short, and this is it was an opportunity. I mean, it's a terrible pandemic. There's been so much grief and tragedy in the world with this, and but I thought, well, I'll make the best of it and just try and entertain people with a bit of tik-tok or whatever, keep people's spirits up a bit, because we can all descend into gloom for very, very good reason, but we must keep going, So that was my only little contribution, is to just say, come on, let's keep cheerful.
I think that's a wonderful way to think. You seem very contented. And I think contented is sometimes not appreciated enough, because everyone says they want to be happy, and of course they do. But feeling contented is just something better, maybe?
Well, I think so, because we don't know what happiness is, do we? We all suffer from anxiety. Without anxiety, we wouldn't survive. But when anxiety becomes the payload and the weight, it drags you down. So yes, just because we have no guarantees, and I'm very fortunate because I've reached 83 years of age. I'm surprised I can still walk, but I'm still around. And I think, well, may as well enjoy it, every moment of it, and to be given this part and I will say something about Florian, that I kept checking. I thought, this guy must have directed before, but he's never directed before.
I know.
Jeez.
I know. What a way to start being a director. And Florian, it's certainly not the last time. There's some talk that you're actually going to do The Sun. That'll be the next movie. Is that likely to happen, do you think?
Yes, actually, I'm planning to shoot it over the summer. So I'm working on it, actually. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, that's really good. I can't wait to see that. And again, a great cast. We've got Hugh Jackman, that'll do, Laura Dern. I mean, really, really good. Your casts very well.
Thank you.
Which is really, really good. So for both of you, and I just wonder, especially for you, Florian, you're in Paris just now. Have you been able to obviously work through this pandemic, but it's not been easy for the whole industry. And people always talk about people in front of camera, but for people like yourself and all the technicians, it's been hard, hasn't it?
Yes, it was a tough time for everyone, and we all had to learn to deal with this new reality. But the thing is that we were hoping for theater to reopen, because, to make a film, the whole point of making a film for everyone included in the team is to be able to share those emotions with the audience. This is the only reason why we are doing what we are doing. And so now to have this film about to be released and to be able to share those emotions in the coming days, it's something that is really meaningful to all of us. So we are very excited about that.
Well, absolutely. It's a beautiful film, and it's a film that makes you think. It's the kind of film that you want to see again, because there's things that I think that you miss. And it's a film that makes you think. That's what's important when you're, obviously you enjoy it as a movie, but it seems to be so much more to it than that.
Yes, and I think it's important sometimes to have the feeling that you are missing something, because
yes.
I wanted the process not to be, always something you are aware of, just to have the feeling that something is happening and that you do not understand everything, and to accept that in a way your brain is not capable to understand everything, so that you have to let it go and to lead to this very emotional place without using your brain anymore, in a way.
Well, both of you, congratulations on a brilliant job, well done. Just one thing, Sir Anthony Hopkins, you must never, ever, ever retire, ever.
Oh, well, I hope not. Keep it well coming in. I hope not. I want to go on until the end, you know. I enjoy it. I do it for love and fun, and I have a lot of fun acting. I've put aside the heavy seriousness of my youth, and now I can enjoy it all, you know, just have some fun with it, and working with some wonderful actors, and as this goes. Yes.
Glad to hear it. Thank you both so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And congratulations again on all the well-deserved awards that the father has won. Thank you.
Don't forget, you can watch full episodes of Lorraine on the ITV Hub and all the best clips, compilations and playlists right here on our channel. Just subscribe now and you'll never miss an upload. Click here to watch another video similar to this one, or click here to head to our channel's homepage to explore all of our exciting videos.